Hi, I'm Kodjo, the Christian Tech Guy, and today we're over halfway in January, and I've decided to just kind of have a look at what we should expect in the technology world for this year. And I think there's going to be two main things, and that's going to be that this year, 2015, is going to really be the year of wearables, as well as the year of virtual reality, so VR headsets and its content and its hardware coming out this year. So I'm just going to kick things off by talking about wearables. Now, back in 2014, we saw the launch of wearables by some of the really big names in the technology world. Some companies such as Sony and Samsung had already been producing some smartwatches and the like in previous years. But last year we saw a really big push on smartwatches and wearables coming forth. We had more people buying things like Fitbits and other fitness activity trackers. We also had Android launch Android Wear, which was their wearable platform or operating system, and many different OEMs, that's original equipment manufacturers, started making products or hardwares using that software. So we had the launch of the Moto 360 or Motorola Moto 360. We had LG make two smartwatches using that OS, and that was the LG G Watch and the LG G Watch R. And we also had some other companies such as ASUS make the ASUS Zen Watch. And we also, as usual, had Samsung make their Gear Live, and Sony come out with the Sony Smartwatch 3. As well, beyond just Google, we also had in 2014 Samsung go to using their Tizen wearable or proprietary operating system for their smartwatches. And the only, I guess, downfall with that is that it's only compatible with other Samsung smartwatch phones, and even there it's a bit limited in its connectivity. So that was also another option. Now this year, what I really think this is going to be the really big push for smartwatches and wearable technology in general is we're going to see soon Android really step up on the operating system. As in its first kind of stage, it's kind of had a lot of flaws which you kind of expect from its kind of first year coming out, and we will hopefully see a lot of improvements in the operating system. And what's particularly good news for most people is that it's Android who control the operating system that is on all smartwatches. So unlike with smartphones, companies can't apply their own skins on top of the operating systems on smartwatches. Moreover, we're gonna this year be having the launch of the Apple Watch, and many people in the industry believe that Apple adopting a smartwatch will maybe see it really come into people's minds. Actually, make people want to maybe invest or buy a smartwatch, but I guess only time will tell with that. And then we've also got a lot of other smartwatches coming out, other fitness bands. We also had Microsoft in the late part of 2014 come out with a smartwatch. And all in all, most people just want to see two things really change in the smartwatch arena. And that is that it really has a purpose, because a lot of them at the moment just operate alongside your smartwatch. So some people want them to actually be able to have a purpose of its own and not just be something that's you use in tangent with your smartwatch or smartphone. And the second thing people really want to see improve is battery life. Now, Pebble, who came out with a smartwatch several years ago now, are still kind of the kings in that arena, as their Pebble watch can last, some people claim, 7 days, so a week, without before it needs to be charged up again. Whereas most Android Wear smartwatches only last for about a day or a day and a half before they need to be charged. So that's smartwatches, and I think they will really come into the fore this year. We're going to see some bigger names come into it, such as HTC is rumoured to be coming out with a smartwatch, Apple of course, and we'll of course see all the usual names, Samsung, Sony, continue, and Motorola, LG continue to come out with some really nice smartwatches. And now I turn to the second thing, and that's virtual reality. Now, with that, I'm not going to include or not going to discuss on certain forms of, you could say, headsets such as augmented reality. That was something that was launched with, well, announced at Microsoft event yesterday, and that was the Holo, I can't remember its name, it's the Holo something, and essentially that was an augmented reality slash virtual reality elements in it. So I'm not going to talk about that too much, but what I will focus on is just virtual reality headsets. This year we should be having the Oculus Rift finally being sold to consumers, and we should have the Gear VR, which is Samsung's take on a virtual reality headset, come out this year, or maybe in the latter half of, well, it's already come out, but you'll see more content for it come out this year. And also at the 2014 Google I/O, we had them announce, or just kind of subtly say, the Google Cardboard, which was something that came out, and I should hopefully purchase one soon and maybe even do a little review on it. And why I really think virtual reality is going to be something really big this year is just all of the ideas and all of the features that it can have. And as you can see in something like the Google Cardboard, all it takes is just some cardboard, some magnets, some other bits and bobs, the lens, and you put your smartphone in, and that becomes your screen, and it uses the components in your smartphone to give you that virtual reality feel when you look around. And it already has certain apps in it such as Google Earth, and you can look around, have a really good 360 view. And why I think it will be really what really cool implementations I think there could be are, for example, a football match, it being filmed with a 360-degree cameras, which there are, and having maybe to pay a certain amount to have that experience of maybe being part of a crowd, or maybe seeing things from the manager's perspective by having a camera or a drone camera flying just maybe in their kind of technical area, and having a look around 360 degrees at watching a football match would just be a really cool experience, especially after being to matches myself, and that's Liverpool matches, as I am a Liverpool supporter. The feeling you get when you are in the stadium is much different to just when you're watching it on the TV, and it'd be really cool if virtual reality tapped into that and made it into other forms of entertainment and other sports as well. Imagine watching athletics from maybe the fields, the track level point of view, and being able to look around and have that 360 immersive experience would just be, quite frankly, amazing. Other implementations could be, imagine watching a debate or being at a conference, or so many other kind of things where you actually feel there, you feel like you're part of, you could say, the community of people, watching for example, a music concert that's happening somewhere halfway around the world, which you're not able to go to, but because you have this VR headset, you could feel like you're there, listening, looking around, being part of the atmosphere. And of course, with that, you would really need some really cool headphones. But I think with the launch of the Oculus Rift and all the games that will also come along with it, and maybe even the Sony Project Morpheus headset could come out this year, we will see virtual reality really come back into the fore and be something that consumers and technology fans or fanatics would like to use. So I've been Kojo, Christian Tech Guy. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please share this video, click the like button, and also subscribe to see other videos which I should be making in due time. Thank you, and God bless.